What differentiates a good lens from a great lens? Is it the look? Is it the versatility? Is it the price? What if it's all of the above? There's a reason standard zoom lenses exist. Put one on your camera and you'll be able to shoot just about anything without having to think about swapping lenses. Whether it's commercial work or music videos, events, corporate interviews, or travel content, and so much more. If you were to ask me about the most important lens I own, this is it. Tamron 28-75 f2.8. Thanks to great third-party lens manufacturers, we no longer have to spend upwards of $2,000 for a great zoom lens. Today, I want to tell you why the Tamron 28-75 might just be the best standard zoom lens out there. Hear me out. I pride myself on creating quality work without having all the options in the world at my fingertips. I don't work on huge sets with tons of people. Truth be told, I really don't want to. Most of the time I'm working alone, which means I need reliable equipment I can depend on as a solo filmmaker. The lens has to be versatile and sharp, have great autofocus, and it needs to complement my shooting style. Naturally, you'd think this means I'd only pick the best of the best, native Sony glass. The Sony 24-70 G Master version 2. Let me show you why I don't. The relationship between cost and what you're getting isn't distributed evenly. Eventually, you'll reach a point where you get less quality per dollar and the curve of the graph flattens out more and more. I'll give you an example. This is the Arri Alexa 35, arguably the best camera in the world. You can own one for about $95,000. And this is the Sony FX3, a prosumer cinema camera. It costs about $4,700. Anyone who now wants to tell me that the Arri produces a better looking image is completely missing the point. And I think you can tell where I'm going with this. Here's the three main competitors: Tamron, Sigma, and Sony. The Tamron costs about $850. The Sigma is $350 more, and the Sony is double the price of the Sigma. People tell themselves that the price is worth it to get the very best autofocus performance out of a Sony lens and a camera combo. Then there's the better build quality, and lenses hardly lose any market value, so this has to be a good investment. People who bought the original G Master must have thought the same thing until the version 2 was announced and prices for the first iteration dropped everywhere. Be aware that build quality hardly matters unless it influences the lens's usability. When you accidentally drop a G Master lens, this might cost you $2,500, whereas a damaged Tamron wouldn't nearly be as detrimental to your bank account. And I'm not making this video to devalue the Sony G Master. It's a great technical achievement with a lot going for it. My argument is that most of you will be better off with a different choice. If a cinematographer is not able to close this gap through good composition, lighting, and post-production, I don't think expensive lenses are the right thing to spend money on. Why do I recommend this specific lens over the competitors? Simple. It's the full package. Let me explain. The image quality is great and has little drawbacks the others don't have. The autofocus works incredibly well and can be relied on for paid jobs. I haven't had any problems with the autofocus motors doing unpredictable focus racks in almost 2 years of regular use. They're fast and smooth. And yes, native Sony glass will likely be even better, but honestly, would you even notice without doing rigorous comparisons? The Tamron is also the cheapest of the bunch, which means it's more easily replaceable. Or the remaining money can be spent on a second lens, which is always something to consider, especially when you're on a budget. At 540 grams, it's the lightest lens of the pack. This might not be important to someone who only uses it in a studio environment, but if you want to stay mobile and move around a lot, saving weight can be a big plus. In my case, this has particularly paid off when doing events or travel videos. Like the others, the Tamron features a custom button which comes in really handy. The focus ring can also be customized to be either linear for precise focusing or non-linear to be a little faster. But the most important reason, it is functional enough to not get in the way of making films. With all of the amazing options out there, many of us tend to spend money on products with lots of features we don't really need. We want the best of the best, and fair enough, but then we need to be willing to spend the money for the best of the best. But that's not the problem. The problem is this stuff is eventually replaced by something else, something even more capable before it was utilized to its full potential. I invite you to try a different approach and look for equipment that is good enough for what you're doing, and then master it. Learn how to use it properly, work around its shortcomings, and create something few could with the same tools. I don't need an ARRI, and neither do you, to create beautiful work. Ask yourself the following: what's more important, the filmmaker or the equipment he's using? I know how I'd answer.